Uh, I got a hair in my mouth. Oh my god.
Oh my God, don't you hate
What
when
a
that
great
happens?
way to start the video. Welcome to Drag Race RuView.
We won't get sued.
This show is in no way affiliated with RuPaul's Drag Race, Rupauls, or anyone associated with anything that we talk about on the screen. This is purely a man's rinnings and bruisings of two local DMV drag queens. Please pay them no mind and don't sue them as they have no money. Thank you.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 1 of Drag Race RuView. I'm your host, Logan Stone, and I am joined by my very own drag daughter and wonderful DMV drag performer, Tiffany D. Carter.
Hey girl, hey. Happy New Year. Happy new bitches. Let's read them for filth.
How are you, bitch?
Hung over to hell.
We do love that. We love that.
You know, it's the beginning of the year. Why not start it the way we ended it?
I honestly call it my New Year's tradition.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do resolutions, I do traditions. And my tradition is New Year's Day, I spend it all in bed. All right, so we're here to talk about what happened in the very first episode of season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Heavy spoiler alert warning. If you don't want to know anything about the first episode, click away now because we're going to talk about everything. Our thoughts, our feelings, our tootin' boots on the outfits, and all of the spoilers of what happened in the episode. So that was your warning. Click away now. Bye-bye.
I just want to put out another warning. If you are sensitive to motion, there are so many twists and turns in this first episode. So if you get car sick, pull over now.
All right, let's just hop right on into it. First, we open up the episode with the very first queen of the season. It's Miss Candy Muse.
From the hood to Hollywood.
This just felt kind of run of the mill to me.
Really?
Yeah, I loved the boombox purse. That was everything.
It's no surprise that I'm not like a huge Candy Muse fan. However, I honestly thought that this look was really good. Like a denim moment is always going to make me happy, and I feel like this just screams very like I grew up in the city and now I'm making my way to Hollywood, and like this is what I've wanted to see from Candy.
Like the thing about Candy that I'm not worried about is because of her personality, she's gonna be that character like Vanjie, like Shangela, like, and I'm obviously she's not going home first, but like she's just gonna be memorable and memeable and everything. And I can already tell she's one of those girls that may not win a crown and check at the end of this, but she's gonna win Drag Race because of her personality.
Yeah, like Candy kept getting like all of these confessionals. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, they're giving her like a lot of screen time from this beginning until eventually the second racer comes into the workroom, and it's none other than Joey J.
Killer Queen.
Like they called out many a times, and I think we're hear more about it throughout the season. Chicken feathers. That's what got me. I'm like, really, girl? Like,
Girl, I mean, not everybody has those $10,000 budgets, and even then, I hear that that's not enough.
and then my thing is like, I don't even mind cheap or whatever, obviously. But
Really.
like, don't claim to be cheap. Don't point yourself out like, yeah, I'll just put on this like shitty chicken feather costume, like bok 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 bok. Like, I was like, girl.
Right, she was like riding the whole chicken thing for the whole time she was on the screen, and I was like,
It's not something to be proud of.
like, are you a farmer? Are we misfaming it here? Like, what are we doing? What's with all the chicken references? I don't.
If it works for Heidi in Closet, it can work for you too.
Right. So
Yeah.
they're sitting there. It's just the two of them. They're kikiing, and then all of a sudden the lights start going off, the alarms are going off, and RuPaul's on the screen being like, "Come to the main stage." At this point, what are you thinking? Were you gooped? Were you gagged? What were your?
Well, absolutely, because I mean, you know, both of us are super fans of this show, and I've been watching this show for years. And even before drag, I would always consider like, ooh, what would be the fun way I would handle this situation? And like everyone these days, when they walk into the workroom, it's kind of like you have the plan, like it's gonna be a photo shoot for the first mini challenge. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, like be ready. And if I'm in there with one other bitch and I just hear the alarms going off, I'm like, well, girl, did y'all forget something? Like,
right?
10 other girls? Like,
so they go on stage, they do a little talk, and then they surprise them that they have to lip sync for their lives. So, Candy Muse versus Joey J. Who is your winner and why?
so first of all, I will say, because again, I'm a super fan of this show, I can usually tell who's gonna win the lip sync. Whether I agree with, even if I'm like, this person shouldn't win, but I can tell they are, because they're gonna get all the cutaways, they're gonna get all the like single shot moments, and I'm like, they are focusing on Candy every chance they get. And even without that, it was the cutest thing of just like, she has this big ass boombox and she's like, press play.
Right.
And then
Greatest first meme of the season.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have picked Joey J. I thought that she did a little bit better, personally, for her performance.
I'm gonna say Candy. I'm gonna disagree with you.
So Candy moves on, and Joey J gets the pork chop, whatever the fuck that means.
Well, ma'am, like, yeah, at the end of the lip sync, she said you get the pork chop, and that's kind of like, it leaves the door open for something. Yeah. But when they first get on the main stage, she's like, okay, well, one of you you're both gonna lip sync, and one of you is gonna stay, and the other one's gonna Shantae away. So when I hear those words, Shantae away, I'm like, well, bitch, it's over. And we still don't know what happens. Like, we don't know what is going to happen next week. So now we're back in the workroom again, meeting more girls, and in walks Denali.
Let me break the ice.
And I feel bad for her, because it's like, judging off of past seasons, this is such a cute entrance look. Like, we learn that you're an ice skater. We learn that you like have this backstory to yourself beyond drag. That it's super cute. And any other season, this would work for an entrance look.
Oh yeah, this is perfect. Like, they zoom in on her shoes, and she's wearing literal ice skates.
Yeah, because I was watching, like you were watching with your roommates, I was watching with my friend, and when the alarm goes off again, I grab him. I'm like, are they gonna let her change her shoes?
Right? Because like, we know what's coming, but she don't know what's coming.
Right.
Oh my God. I'm a huge fan of Denali, so I'm very excited to see her, what she's going to bring to this competition, but I'm just excited to see her here in general. So far, her looks have been very impressive to me. This ice skater look is a total toot for me. I think that this is amazing. Next then is La Ri.
Oh, what you say, what you say. La Ri is here to slay.
So, while looking at this look, this is one I think that needed more time.
Yeah.
There is not a hem to be seen anywhere on this. And it's just like, it's basic, it's cute. I like the idea and the concept, but it's just not well made. It's not well presented. And that wig is just like out the bag, brushed, and that's it.
Ma'am, and you know me, I love a good blazer dress moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like, okay, again, just a few inches longer. Like, I get you want to be like kind of sexual and sultry, maybe a little bit slutty, but like, you can do that and not just look unfinished.
We get to know a little bit more about them, and then they have to lip sync for their lives once again in this episode.
If I'm being honest, if this was a normal lip sync for your life, like everybody's there, I would have been okay with both of them going home based off of this lip sync.
Interesting.
I was very bored watching both of them. Like, obviously, you know, Denali, it sucks for her situation. You know, lip syncing ice skates is probably not a good idea for anybody. Yeah, she's very talented. I'm like, so I can't wait to see what you do in heels. But like, except for that flip, like the whole time you're just trying to keep your dress up and like not show your boy chest, which didn't work out. You were showing it.
Exactly.
And yeah, it took you away. It took you out of your moment.
She could give us more, and I'm excited to potentially see more from her. But based on the performance, I gave it to Lala last night. I thought that she deserved that win.
Yeah.
And Miss Denali gets eliminated.
Dasha is away in skates.
and she looks stunning, but she looks confused, and I would be too. And this point, we follow her backstage, and she gets to meet Joey J, and we see the pork chop loading dock now, and there's pictures of every first eliminated contestant ever, and there's all these tables set up, so we know something is going on.
It's like the kiki of it is, yeah, we are viewers. We know like they wouldn't be showing us this if there wasn't more. But in that moment, you're already thrown for loops of like, what the fuck just happened? So you're like, oh my God, why am I back here? And then also, who was this bitch that's already back here?
Right. And everybody's just confused. And so are we.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right. So now we're back after commercial break once again, and our next performer walks into the stage, and it is none other than Symone.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you, baby.
In it. I like the concept of this entrance look, but I think she's running into the same problem that Lala Ree ran into, which is not executed well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very cute. I like that it's pictures of her. I like that it's Polaroids. I feel like it's very true to the essence that she's been trying to serve already. So very into that, but I just don't think that the outfit does it.
No. It's too basic a silhouette. Like if you're gonna do something like as, I hate this word, but crafty as, you know, Polaroid pictures of yourself, you gotta come with a major silhouette.
She is glistening from head to toe. And I will say, I love the hair. Not a big fan, but big fan of Symone.
Yeah, love her. She's going to be confessional gold.
Oh, yeah.
To get into the competition.
For sure.
She was being nice this episode and was still hilarious. Like, calling Tamisha a mother figure, but like no shade. Like,
right, but all the shade.
Right.
Speaking of Tamisha, she is the next racer to walk into the workroom.
Holla at me, I know you know me. Holla at me, I know you know me. Tamisha is here.
Big fan of Tamisha's outfit. Like, that thing was fashion. That thing was well made. It fit her so well, and the body was right. Like, it was all great, except that wig, mama. That flat wig that was just behind her.
I agree, because the outfit was giving me Dynasty, but add a little bit of sex, which is full T my drag. Like, that's what I really aspire to. Especially, like, you know, I love a moment that's like, just show off the girls, like, give me a little tit moment. And it was done so well. Like, it wasn't full cleavage, but it was a sheer, like, I see what you have. And yeah, Dynasty neck down, and then where was the Dynasty big hair? And so before I even get into my favorite or whatever, this is one of my favorite lip syncs that we've got this episode. It was Janet Jackson. It was old school versus new school of Tamisha versus Symone. It was, you know, I'm a dancer. I'm in this outfit that won't let me move because it's Polaroids. Like, it was really interesting because, like, and it was, you know, Tamisha giving you full Janet Jackson moments, and Symone was like, no, I'm just gonna do my own thing.
Yeah. And we find out Symone wins.
Right.
And Tamisha gets the pork chop. Personally, I would have picked Tamisha to win.
Same.
So I was really surprised because while I love Symone, I think she did a really good job. I preferred Tamisha's performance better. So I was surprised to see her end up in the pork chop loading dock.
So this might have been one of the, actually, like, if I'm being honest, this was one of the ones that I would have said save them both if it was a normal lip sync.
Yeah, this was like a double save for me for sure. I think this was probably my favorite of the 6, if I really had to pick one.
Yeah, same.
So next person to walk into the workroom, it's Gottmik.
Time to crash the system.
And I think everyone that has seen Meet the Queens, like, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Like, I don't think, no shade to the rest of the cast, this is who everyone is like, I want to see what this bitch can do.
Yeah, I feel like if you have done drag for more than a year, you have either seen like paints inspired by Gottmik, you have seen Gottmik, or you've seen Gottmik's work. Obviously, we don't want to paint them into a whole makeup artist kind of deal, so I'm really, really excited to see them. I've been a huge fan of Gottmik for a very long time, and I'm absolutely in love with this entrance look.
I like it. I don't love the colors because, as it is mentioned later, she kind of just looks like a sexy hot dog. Like, I literally saw it. I was like, oh, she's trying to be like a couture hot dog look. Okay, cute.
They walk in. They're great. We're moving on to the next racer, which is Utica Queen.
She's sickening.
I literally, so when COVID started, and I didn't even know if we were going to get season 13 on time this year, but I was like, whenever they restart Drag Race, like the first season after COVID needs to have someone making like a sickening joke. And I'm so glad somebody did.
Yeah. Literal perfection. Like, it was well done. It was very, like, them. I love this look. I think, like, the clashing patterns, the completely different color wig, the giant strawberry out of nowhere. While, like, you look at it all and it's like, what? It works. I'm in love with it. I think it all works. This is like a total, obviously, toot for me.
Oh, yeah.
And so they perform to a song that is neither of their song.
Ma'am, can we just talk about, like, I want to know where they got the fisting gloves to go that deep into the archive to get Lindsay Lohan rumors.
And I mean, they both kind of turned it in their own way. Like, they were like, okay, this ain't my song.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have fun with it. I'm still gonna perform. And I think they both turned it out. And who do you think should have won the lip sync?
Not for the same reason as, like, Tamisha and Symone, but this is another one I was like, oh God, you could easily be like, both of you stay, just because, like you said, this isn't something you would imagine either one of them choosing to perform, but they made it work.
Yeah.
Like Utica was like, I am a weirdo. I'm going to show you I'm a weirdo. Like, you're going to get all of it right here, right now.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I said, like, any other, like, your average person, contestant, would be intimidated and just be desperate and trying their hardest. And both of them were like, I'm going to show you what I give normally anyway.
Right.
So it's like, that needs to be commended, especially on episode 1. Where we didn't expect
She really
this.
went all in. I think both of them really, really did. But I think that Utica had a problem like Denali, where her hair was kind of flapping all over the place, and it kind of takes her out of it. And I think that they did make the right choice for this one with winning.
Obviously, everyone involved in this episode is so confused as to what is happening, but Utica's like, put on a brave face, just go with it, and had the best exit of everybody.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'll get you for this RuPaul.
Oh my God. I only thing I'm mad about now is that she didn't, like, I'll get you for this RuPaul and your little Michelle Visage too.
Oh my God, that would have been so good. All right, so Utica goes off, Gottmik wins. We're back in the workroom again. And we are on to our next pair of racers.
Hey!
She's so stunning in this outfit, I have to say. Like, the pink monochromatic moment, it worked for me.
But yeah, I mean, Rosé's out, like, walked in with that outfit, and I said, yes, bitch, I want this. Like, because yeah, at the end of the day, it's a simple bodysuit, but it's a really, if you're gonna do simple, it better be on point. And every stitch, every hem, every button was where it needed to be. That hair was amazing. And yeah, I wish you would have stuck with, like, to be that beautiful, just standing there and then open your mouth like, hey, and have that dorkiness.
Yeah.
It's like, keep with that. That is endearing. I mean, that's what I want to lean more towards a little bit myself. Of
Your
like,
guns. Like that's who you are. That's what you're doing. Like you clearly committed to that. So continue to commit to it.
yeah, and it was it was everything. So I wish she would have kept with that, and hopefully we get to see more of Miss Rosé, but we'll see how this lip sync turns out.
Right. So next walks in Olivia Lux.
Lux, be a lady tonight.
And she is giving me like, wait, what? Vibes realness. From the get-go, she is so soft-spoken, and you can tell that she's there, but like, is she?
Right. So I don't have a gap, so I can't really do it like Heidi in Closet, but Olivia is so soft and supple. In her confessional, she looks like she weighs all of 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm glad that you brought this up because I didn't want to be the one that clocked that, because she does look really, really skinny in her confessionals, but her body looks really big. Do we want to talk about that? Should we?
I want to talk about it because padding is a thing and all that, but I think it's because of the outfit she's wearing. It's split right down the middle. It is not flattering to her figure because of how like it just looks boxy.
I love the concept of it. Like I love a good pink and yellow moment. I think that those complement each other very, very well, and they can be done really, really well. I would say this was at like 85% for me.
I can tell you what it was for me.
Okay, tell
I
me.
agree. The colors are perfect. I'm a child of the 90s. When I see pink and yellow together, I think Trix yogurt. And when you open Trix yogurt, it's those two colors, but there's a swirl down the middle. It's not just half and half. If she had had that same color pattern, but like swirled it a little bit, it would have given you curve, dimension, kind of trippy vibes. It would have been so much better. Like this, direct down the middle moment.
Let's talk about their history. They're both from New York, and Rosé hosted a drag competition that Olivia Lux competed in, and I think she won.
And they're kicking about that or whatever, waiting for the next set of people to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, alarms.
So they make it to the stage.
It adds up.
Right? And they're just meeting the judges, and they're just talking, and then they're like, do you like surprises? Because surprise, two girls stand before me right now, and this is your first chance to make an impression, and all of a sudden they're lip syncing for their lives against each other. It's an intimidating moment by far for Olivia, more than anybody else so far.
And the gag is, as I'm sure, as much as Olivia was like, oh shit, I'm going up against Rosé was probably like, oh, it's just Olivia.
Right? Like, oh, I know her, like, she's fine, she's from my city, she's new, I got this.
Right.
And then as we find out, she don't got this. It was a great performance from both of them, I have to say, but like Olivia really served it. And
the gag was, we were like, because when the song started, we were like, me and my friend were like, she can't perform in that dress. And she said, I sure can't, and like pulled it down. And so my favorite thing about the reveal that she did, I love something that like, it looks like it's one piece.
Yeah, I did not expect that. And I think it's partially because of the ruching.
Exactly.
Like there's no way to tell until she starts taking it off and you're like,
oh, that was...
Rosé gets the pork chop and she's so confused. Like literally flabbergasted. Like the look on her face is pure stunned. And she's like, I don't know what's happening, but bye?
My favorite moment of this episode was when they say, Olivia, you win. Like, okay, Rosé, get out. And Olivia's like, I'm really confused. And Rosé's like, yeah, so am I. So like, because that would be like, you have to like imagine like that is such a gut punch.
Really crusher.
Yeah. And you're like, no, this isn't how every episode that I've been watching for 10 plus seasons goes.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to go home this early, and definitely not this way.
And all of a sudden, that's it. Your Drag Race dream, as far as you know, is over.
Yeah.
So, we are back in the workroom for the last time of this episode, and we have our next racer walk into the workroom, and it's none other than Mora Hall.
The Mackie doll is finally out of her box.
Yep.
Legendary House of Hall. She is Jada Essence Hall's drag sister.
Soju's mother.
Mm-hmm.
She's
And Soju's drag mother. Yes. She is Soju's drag mother and Jada's drag sister. So she's got some big reputations already, even just walking into this workroom. She looks great. It's an original Bob Mackie. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. It's nothing special.
It's a really cute entrance look.
I don't know. She's has yet to make an impression on me, and we've seen 4 looks from everybody already, and I've yet to be impressed or reminded of her existence in this competition.
Well, I really liked her promo look. It was just elegant and beautiful. That burgundy, like bedazzled dress and the shawl with it, cute.
Yeah.
Because
So moving on, the next person to walk in is Tina Burner from New York City.
Didn't your parents ever teach you not to play with fire? Now let's turn it and burn it, bitches!
Legend Tina Burner. And she's here. She's loud. And she's from New York.
Yeah. Finally, she's here.
Finally, she's here. She has been on all of the radars for Drag Race for a very long time. So it is great to see her on the season. But what do we think of this look?
So I mentioned it earlier.
Red and yellow makes you think of condiments.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also very firefighter.
Which I would
also say I don't like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might forgive it a little bit more if we haven't already seen a fire theme from her in her promo.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, girl, we get it. Your name's Tina Burner. You burn things, fire. Can you come up with something else?
I don't know how I feel about like this whole, like I get like the hat is supposed to be reminiscent of like a firefighter's helmet. But I wish it wasn't there.
Yeah.
It just adds this weird element. I like that she has the TB on her earrings and on her purse, and like it's definitely a well tied together theme. Like while the color combination is obviously maybe not the best, the look is there. Like we get it. You were doing a firefighter drag look.
The one thing I'll say about her is at least that makes sense. Like firefighters wear red and yellow. You were going for that look and you achieved it. Still don't like it, but you achieved it.
Yeah. And for this last one, we have a third contestant come in at the same time. And now walking into the workroom, it is Elliott with 2 T's.
Oh, I'm the queen you want to see, Elliott with 2 T's. Okay. Okay, get into it.
White girls can't dance.
And by far, obviously not the most creative or the best look that we've seen in these entrances.
Yeah.
But I do like it.
I'd like it. And again, on another season, this would have been a perfectly acceptable entrance look. And I think actually because, not knowing the twist, like it still works because it's movable. And I appreciate that it wasn't just, I like to be simple. It's, I'm going for this 80s mom look.
She had a very specific idea in mind, and I think it worked well. I know she got a little shade for it from Tina and Mora.
What she said to Elliott was, so is this how all the drag queens in Las Vegas dress?
Oh, right? She's so shady. She's so shady, and I live for it.
But I live for, like, Tina just being like, I clocked that. And like,
right, I heard you, girl. And
again, very us, we were like, peep that shade. I like it. Hitting that.
The conversation on.
And because of course before like, you know, they get the twist, they're like, oh, I know Tina was like, we're gonna keep about that later.
Right.
But
And I think that this one particularly is interesting because we have 3 people walk in. And so they're expecting still at this point to meet all of the other people. There's nothing amiss yet because it's 3.
Right.
But then the alarms go off. Time to lip sync none other to every drag queen's favorite song in the whole wide world, Lady Marmalade. We all know that we had a short show and it's like, time for a group number. So we're either gonna do Spice Girls, Lady Marmalade, or Bang Bang. So they're performing, and I have to say, like, immediately off the bat, my eyes are focusing on Tina Burner and Elliott with 2 T's.
Honestly, for me, it was just Tina.
Really?
Elliott wasn't doing anything for me. Kimora wasn't doing anything for me.
Mora was lost in the background entirely for me, which is a tough position to be in right off the bat. Like, you're already fading into a background of 3 people, and like you're not doing anything to make yourself out there. Again, going back to this whole not very memorable.
So for me, it was full on in that moment, Tina Burner's Drag Race. She demanded that stage. She owned every little bit of every verse. Like, I was not looking at Elliott. I was not looking at Kimora. I was like, there's Tina Burner doing it, and oh, you're there too.
That's exactly what I thought of Elliott. I like those 2 definitely caught my attention the most, but I liked what Elliott was doing more. So I was rooting for Elliott, but obviously I could tell that they were going to give it to Tina.
Yeah.
I know it's unpopular opinion. I don't think a lot of people are on the Elliott with 2 T's train quite yet. And there's the whole cast. We already knew. We only had 13 contestants coming into this competition, and now 7 are gone.
Girl. And I'm just like, so is it because COVID and you had to have only less than 10 people in the room? Like, what's going on?
And all of a sudden, Ru is on the PA and is like, so the van is on its way. Thank you for being here, and safe travels to wherever your final destination is. And like hammering in those final nails on their coffins that they feel like they're all in. And then after that, Michelle turns to Ru and says,
what we're all thinking.
You just eliminated half the cast. What's going on? And Ru's like, oh, I guess you're right. And she makes another announcement and says, well, you all have the chance to come back into the competition. All you have to do is vote one of your fellow losers off the show.
If it's me, I'm not, and I hate when the girls do this. They're like, okay, so who's the weakest link? Let's get rid of you. I'm like, which one of you bitches could possibly send me home? Have I heard your name before? Have I heard your name before? You're probably big competition, because that's all I can go off of.
Right.
So I'm probably, based off of strategy, gonna say let's vote off Rosé. I mean, and I'm sure we'll get to it at some point, but every season, you know, Ru is like, who should go home and why? And anytime they're just always like, oh, well, this person didn't do well in this challenge. Like, fuck that. This person's my like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, I didn't like a commercial or whatever.
Right. But you know what you're doing.
Secretly, I'm like, this bitch is right. Like, if I was, I think they asked it. I mean, yeah, I know they asked it on season 12. If I was Jada, I'd be like, Gigi needs to go home.
Right.
If I was Gigi, I'd be like, Jada needs to go home.
Bye. Like, goodbye. Get out of here. I have no idea what to expect. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. But with that, that is the end of our review of the very first episode of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Tiffany D. Carter, I want to thank you so much for being here, and I want to thank you for being here with me every single time that we are going to be doing this review show. It's always going to be me and my lovely daughter, Tiffany D. Carter, and maybe we'll have some special guests along the way. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you next week on Drag Race Review. Bye.